The NFL is gearing up for formative 2025-2025 season with several major rule changes designed to boost excitement and fairness on the field. One of the most talked about changes involves overtime. Beginning in 2025, regular season games will adopt a new overtime format that guarantees both teams a possession, mirroring the system introduced in the postseason last year. Although the initial proposal called for a 15-minute overtime, it was trimmed down to 10 minutes for the regular season. Under the new rules, if both teams finish their possession and the score remains tied, the game ends in a tie, unlike in the playoffs where the next score wins the game. This change aims to provide a more equitable chance for both sides, a shift that was hotly debated after the Chiefs' overtime win over the Bills in 2022. Alongside overtime, the league is expanding replay assist. Now, certain penalties, such as hits on a defenseless player, face mask grabbing, horse collar tackles, tripping, and roughing the kicker, will be reviewable if a flag is thrown on the play. Coaches will have the opportunity to challenge if they believe the penalty flag was unwarranted, but if no flag is thrown, the play cannot be reviewed. This adjustment is expected to improve consistency and fairness in penalty calls. Other significant updates include the introduction of Sony's Hawkeye cameras to measure first downs. This new technology will replace manual chain gang measurements on crucial plays, speeding up the process by about 40 seconds while maintaining accuracy with 6 8K cameras tracking the ball's position. Additionally, touchbacks on kickoffs will now result in the ball being placed at the 35-yard line rather than the 30-yard line. The NFL hopes this change will encourage more teams to return kickoffs, raising return rates from 33% in 2024 to a projected 60 to 70%, and add a fresh layer of excitement to special teams play. Other proposals, such as the controversial TUSH PUSH ban, remain hotly contested and have been tabled for now, while the Detroit Lions' efforts to eliminate automatic first downs on defensive holding and illegal contact penalties, as well as their wildcard seeding proposal, did not pass. However, one proposal did win support: the Pittsburgh Steelers' free agent rule, which now allows teams to speak directly to free agents and schedule travel during negotiating windows on a trial basis. These rule changes reflect the NFL's ongoing efforts to enhance gameplay, player safety, and competitive balance, setting the stage for an even more electrifying season in 2025. The NFL's annual spring meetings ended with a stalemate over the proposed ban on the TUSH PUSH, leaving the rule change up in the air. The proposal, introduced by the Green Bay Packers, aimed to prohibit any offensive player from immediately pushing a teammate, typically the ball carrier, right after the snap to help gain yardage. While the Packers cited player safety and pace of play as reasons for the ban, many questioned these claims given that there haven't been any serious injuries linked to the play. The vote needed 24 out of 32 affirmative votes to pass, but it was ultimately tabled, with representatives deciding to revisit the language in the rulebook. A decision could come as soon as the May meeting in Minneapolis, or might be postponed until after the 2025 season. Sources familiar with the discussions noted that the measure simply did not garner the necessary support. Critics of the proposal argued that the TUSH PUSH is an integral part of modern football, citing its frequent use by teams like the Philadelphia Eagles and Buffalo Bills, who have converted 87% of their attempts on short yardage plays over the past 3 years. Philadelphia's head coach, Nick Sirianni, for instance, defended the play by emphasizing its complexity and the fundamentals behind it, insisting that success comes from thorough practice rather than mere brute force. The debate also drew attention to potential biases. Some felt that the proposal unfairly targeted teams that have mastered the play, while others, including Packers president Mark Murphy, condemned it for lacking any real skill, suggesting that its effectiveness comes at the cost of diminishing the game's competitive spirit. Meanwhile, voices from across the league, like Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid and Rams general manager Les Snead, underscored the need for solid injury data before making such a drastic rule change. For now, the TUSH PUSH remains a legal, if controversial, weapon in the NFL playbook. The league will have to weigh its options carefully, balancing safety concerns against preserving a play that many teams rely on in critical situations. The NFL's latest move on the TUSH PUSH highlights the growing tension ahead of the upcoming vote on rule changes. As teams gathered for the annual spring owners meetings in Palm Beach, an AFC executive didn't mince words about the proposed ban on this quarterback sneak move. "There's nothing to support making it an issue worth a vote," he said, arguing that the safety concerns driving the proposal aren't backed by data. He questioned why the league should change rules to avoid injuries that aren't actually happening, even drawing a hyperbolic comparison. Imagine if we were voting on banning the forward pass back in the Johnny Unitas days. This pointed jab was aimed squarely at the Green Bay Packers and team president Mark Murphy, widely seen as the driving force behind the proposal. The executive noted that many who support the ban are upset that the offense appears to have an advantage, especially since the Philadelphia Eagles execute the play so effectively. Yet others, like Buffalo Bills head coach Sean McDermott, see banning it as a proactive move to reduce potential injuries, even if the injury data isn't overwhelming. McDermott, along with Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin and Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, has cited player safety as a key concern, though opinions vary. Breaking down the sentiment, 3 teams, Buffalo, Dallas, and Green Bay, lean toward a ban. Meanwhile, 10 teams, including the Ravens, Browns, Lions, Texans, Colts, Patriots, Jets, Eagles, Buccaneers, and Titans, oppose the ban, arguing that it's a legitimate football play that shouldn't be penalized just because it gives an offensive edge. Meanwhile, 3 teams, the Rams, Chiefs, and Steelers, are on the fence. For instance, while Rams GM Les Snead argues that the injury data doesn't warrant a ban, head coach Sean McVay takes a hard line against the play altogether, reflecting a split opinion even within one organization. With the vote now tabled until the NFL's May meetings in Minneapolis, this contentious proposal remains a hot topic. As teams and owners deliberate, the debate continues over whether to change the rules based on emotion and competitive advantage, or to stick with what the data shows. NFL owners made the right call, at least for now, to table the proposal to ban the TUSH PUSH. And honestly, that's a relief for fans who enjoy watching teams use every tool in their playbook. Instead of tossing the rule change out with the rest of the hot-button proposals, owners decided it wasn't worth a vote. If you ask me, the next step should be to pack up proposal, ship it to Buffalo, and let Bills fans have a field day in the parking lot outside Highmark Stadium. The logic behind banning the TUSH PUSH has always been shaky. It all started with the Packers, led by team president Mark Murphy, arguing that the play, a quarterback sneak where the offense essentially shoves the QB forward to gain a yard or two, takes away from player safety and the pace of play. Except there's zero evidence it's caused any injuries. And the pace issue, well, that might just be a reflection of teams like the Washington Commanders overreacting with offsides penalties. Murphy once claimed the play involves no skill and is almost an automatic first down on plays of a yard or less. But let's be real. If it were that simple, every NFL team would be running it. In reality, only 2 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and Buffalo Bills, use it regularly. They've run the play 163 times over the past 3 seasons, and they succeed 87% of the time, compared to 71% league-wide. This clearly shows that executing the play isn't a walk in the park. It takes precision and the right personnel, something the Eagles and Bills have in spades. Some might argue it's boring or bad football, but you can't objectively say it lacks skill. If banning the TUSH PUSH is about fairness, why stop other plays that involve physicality, like a stiff arm from Derrick Henry or a quarterback scramble from Joe Burrow? For now, it's smart to leave the play on the field, letting teams with the right defensive lines and offensive tactics continue to use it, rather than meddling with what's clearly a calculated, if controversial, part of modern football. At the NFL owners' meetings, Commissioner Roger Goodell reaffirmed his unwavering commitment to diversity in the league, stating that it is going to make us better. His remarks come just 2 months after he firmly rejected calls to discontinue the NFL's diversity initiatives during the Super Bowl. And now, when pressed about the glaring absence of black offensive coordinators, Goodell doubled down on his position. During a Q&A session, a reporter noted that despite record progress in other areas like quarterback coaching, there were 0 black offensive coordinators last season, and that the trend seemed set to continue. Goodell acknowledged this concern, emphasizing that the league is actively working to develop coaching talent. We ask ourselves, how do we develop coaches who have the experience and potential, and then give them that opportunity, he explained. We have an offensive assistant program, among other initiatives, designed to nurture diverse talent so they're ready when the opportunity arises. Goodell stressed that while there are many great offensive minds in the league, regardless of race or gender, the number of available positions is limited. There are only so many opportunities, he said, adding that his commitment to diversity is not just about filling quotas, but about truly making the NFL better by harnessing a broader range of ideas and perspectives. We're all in on that. We're fully committed to continuing the work that has had a positive effect, and we're not done yet. He also underscored that the NFL will remain fully compliant with federal laws while pushing forward with policies that foster growth and opportunity. Even as the league navigates challenges, highlighted by the absence of black offensive coordinators and ongoing debates sparked by cases like the Brian Flores lawsuit, Goodell's message was clear. The NFL's diversity initiatives are essential, and their continued evolution will ultimately strengthen the game. It's going to make us better, Goodell concluded, leaving no doubt about the league's resolve to develop talent from every corner of the football community. The latest mock draft update for the Steelers has been dramatically reshaped by a blockbuster trade involving TJ Watt. As it stands, Pittsburgh no longer holds a second-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft after trading it to the Seattle Seahawks in exchange for wide receiver DK Metcalf. Factoring that loss in, the new trade sends edge defender TJ Watt to the Washington Commanders in return for their second and fourth round selections. This move is sure to spark fierce debate among fans, but let's break down the draft haul to see if it justifies the decision. First round, DT Kenneth Grant, Michigan. Kenneth Grant addresses what is arguably the Steelers' biggest need on the defensive line. His disruptive play at Michigan makes him an ideal candidate to anchor the interior of Pittsburgh's defense. Second round, QB Jalen Milroe, Alabama. This trade nets the Steelers a promising quarterback in Jalen Milroe, who is regarded as the draft's QB with the highest ceiling. His potential could be a key long-term solution at a position where Pittsburgh is still seeking stability. Third round, RB DJ Giddens, Kansas State. Adding speed to the run game, DJ Giddens is a dynamic playmaker who could inject much-needed explosiveness into the Steelers' backfield. Fourth round, CB Kobe Bryant, Kansas. At cornerback, Kobe Bryant offers high productivity and starter potential. His skills fit well within the Steelers' defensive scheme, providing depth and competition in the secondary. Fourth round, G. Willie Lampkin, North Carolina. An unconventional prospect in terms of physical profile, Lampkin has nonetheless put up impressive tape. His unique blend of skills could add an unexpected spark to the offensive line. Fifth round, edge Ja Joyner, Minnesota. Known for his elite length and closing speed, Ja Joyner projects as an explosive edge rusher who can make an immediate impact on the perimeter. Sixth round, DT Cam Horsley, Boston College. Returning to the defensive line, Cam Horsley is a high-motor tackle known for his run-stuffing ability. His potential as a reliable interior defender adds valuable depth to the squad. Seventh round, edge Johnny Walker Jr. Rounding out the haul, Johnny Walker Jr. is a productive edge defender with the potential to excel as a rotational pass rusher, providing additional versatility on defense. By flipping TJ Watt for these picks, the Steelers dramatically reshape their future. The trade injects fresh talent at key positions while addressing critical needs, even if it means parting ways with one of the league's premier defenders. Only time will tell if this bold move pays off, but the new draft prospects could very well set the stage for a new era in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers are growing increasingly impatient as they wait for Aaron Rodgers to finalize his contract decision, and the longer the delay, the more likely it becomes that Pittsburgh might explore other quarterback options. One intriguing scenario is that the Steelers could flip their first-round pick at number 21 in the upcoming NFL Draft as part of a trade to acquire a young dual-threat signal caller who's already in the league. Enter Anthony Richardson, the dynamic quarterback drafted 4th overall by the Indianapolis Colts in 2022. Richardson's future in Indianapolis is uncertain after the Colts recently benched him in favor of veteran Joe Flacco during a stretch last season, only to later reinsert him into the starting lineup. With Flacco now a free agent and former New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones currently in Indianapolis on a 1-year deal, the battle for the starting job heats up. Should Jones prevail, it seems likely that the Colts would be eager to move Richardson, potentially putting him on the trade block before the season even begins. ESPN's Bill Barnwell has painted an enticing picture of a trade scenario where the Steelers would send their number 21 pick along with a second-round selection number 45 to Indianapolis in exchange for the 23-year-old dual-threat quarterback. Barnwell noted that Richardson's raw arm strength could create a terrifying combination alongside weapons like DK Metcalf and George Pickens, especially under the guidance of a coordinator like Arthur Smith, who has long incorporated quarterback run concepts into his offensive schemes. Although Richardson might not start immediately if Rodgers eventually signs, he could serve as a bridge, taking a redshirt year now before stepping into the starting role in 2026. Adding a twist to the potential deal is a conditional selection in the 2027 draft that the Steelers would need to include. Meanwhile, Richardson is set to enter the 3rd year of his $34 million rookie deal in 2025, which carries a 5th-year team option for 2027. This creative maneuver could offer the Steelers a fresh start at the quarterback position should the elusive deal with Rodgers remain out of reach. The Dallas Cowboys and star edge rusher Micah Parsons are stirring up controversy as contract talks continue, with one notable twist. Despite not having a contract extension on the table yet, owner and general manager Jerry Jones revealed he's been negotiating directly with Parsons, bypassing the usual involvement of his agent, David Mulugheta. "I spent 5-6 hours with him myself and had a lot of discussions," Jones said from the Breakers Resort during the NFL owners' meetings. "Most of the issues we're in agreement on and discussed it all, but we obviously don't have an agreement relative to a new contract." Jones, who has a history of negotiating directly with his players, emphasized that missive, especially considering Mulugheta's impressive track record negotiating record-breaking contracts for NFL stars like Jordan Love and Deshaun Watson. Parsons fired back on social media, stressing the importance of his agent in the process. "David is the best, and I will not be doing any deal without him," Parsons tweeted. "Like anyone with good sense, I hired experts for a reason. There is no one I trust more when it comes to negotiating contracts than David. There will be no backdoors in this contract negotiation." Jones explained that the direct conversation came about because Parsons, who is one of only 3 individuals with his personal cell phone number, had requested a more direct line of communication about a month ago. Parsons said, "I want to be able to talk to you at any time," Jones recalled. "And I said, Micah, you're one of the few. We'll talk anytime. Call me." As negotiations continue, the standoff over agent involvement highlights a broader debate on how player contracts should be handled, whether through direct owner-player discussions or with the guidance of trusted representatives. The situation remains in flux, but one thing is clear. Parsons is not willing to sideline his agent in these critical talks, and the Cowboys' unconventional approach is sure to keep fans and league insiders talking. According to Clarence Hill of All City DLLS, the Cowboys have reportedly offered Micah Parsons the largest non-quarterback deal in NFL history. This groundbreaking contract is said to surpass recent deals inked by Browns edge rusher Myles Garrett and Bengals receiver Jamar Chase, who currently hold the records for top annual averages at $40 million and $40.25 million, respectively. Hill reports that while owner Jerry Jones and Parsons have reached an agreement on the deal, the Cowboys notably have not involved Parsons' agent David Mulugheta in the discussions. In fact, Mulugheta and the Cowboys have not had any negotiations since the NFL scouting combine. Parsons, however, face-to-face contract talks with players like Tony Romo, DeMarcus Lawrence, Jason Witten, and Zach Martin, without their agents being the primary negotiators. But Micah likes to talk about his business, he added. implying that Parsons prefers a more direct conversation regarding his and defense should be embraced by the Patriots. Reflecting on his own career as an all-pro edge rusher and part-time tight end for New England, Vrabel understands firsthand the demands and rewards of a two-way player. His experience gives him a special perspective on Hunter, one of the most highly touted prospects in the 2025 NFL Draft. In college, Hunter dazzled everyone by excelling on both sides of the ball. Not only did he win the Heisman Trophy for his overall impact, but he also took home the Biletnikoff Award for his performance as a wide receiver, amassing 96 catches for 1,258 yards and 15 touchdowns. Defensively, he earned the Bednarik Award by recording 4 interceptions and 11 pass breakups. This dual-threat ability has sparked debate among scouts, with some predicting a future as a lockdown cornerback and others envisioning him as a top-tier wide receiver. At the NFL annual meetings, Vrabel addressed the challenge of playing both ways at the professional level. "I don't know how anybody could say how hard it would be. We've never seen a player necessarily do it," he said, via Mass Live. While Vrabel acknowledged that focusing on one position might help a player improve, he was quick to stress that he wouldn't restrict a talent like Hunter. "We try as much as they can handle. We're going to continue to put more on their plate. If he were on our team and showed great skill at one position and started to really do well in his conditioning, and it didn't fall and didn't drop off, we would be open to playing everybody we had at more than one position," Vrabel explained. For the Patriots, who still seek reinforcements at receiver alongside Stephon Diggs, Hunter could be a significant asset on offense. At the same time, his defensive prowess offers an intriguing possibility to bolster the secondary. Vrabel's remarks suggest a flexible approach. The Patriots might initially slot Hunter into one position to master the fundamentals before gradually incorporating his full range of skills. In his view, if a player can contribute in multiple ways, there's every reason to leverage that versatility to help the team win. Travis Kelce is turning heads once again, this time off the field. Following a disappointing Super Bowl LX loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in February, Chiefs star tight end Kelce made a bold statement by announcing his return for the 2025 season. Determined to bounce back and play at an even higher level than last year, Kelce expressed his resolve on a podcast. "I still feel like I can play at a high level and possibly at a higher level than I did last year. I don't think it was my best outing. I let my guys down in a lot more moments than I helped them. I got a bad taste in my mouth about how I ended the year and how accountable I was for the people around me." That fire clearly resonates with fans, and now a close-up black and white photo of Kelce has gone viral on social media, capturing the attention of the football world. In the stunning high-resolution image shared by the Kansas City Chiefs on Instagram, Kelce's intense gaze, his messy hair, and even the fine details of his mustache and stubble are on full display. The photo has sparked a flood of comments praising his looks and charisma. One fan gushed, "Travis has gorgeous eyes even in black and white," while others raved, "Gorgeous photos," and "Travis, the man, the myth, the legend." It's clear from the buzz that Kelce isn't just a standout on the field. He's a cultural icon whose presence electrifies the fans both on and off the gridiron. His return for the 2025 season isn't just about making up for past shortcomings. It's about proving to himself and to the world that he can elevate his game to even greater heights. As he sets out for another season with the Chiefs, Kelce's viral photo is a powerful reminder of his magnetic appeal and his relentless drive to improve. For Chiefs fans and NFL enthusiasts alike, this is more than just a pretty face. It's a declaration that the era of Travis Kelce is far from over. With renewed determination and that signature intensity in his eyes, Kelce is poised to lead the charge in what promises to be an electrifying season. Stay tuned, because if his performance and style are any indication, the best is yet to come. Tyreek Hill is generating buzz as trade rumors swirl. And while the Dolphins may be in a strained relationship with their star receiver, several NFL teams look like potential landing spots where Hill's electrifying playmaking and blazing speed could thrive. Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, under new coach Pete Carroll and with Geno Smith at the helm, are in a rebuilding phase and have a limited window to become contenders again. Acquiring Hill could provide the Raiders with an immediate dynamic playmaker to serve as the top receiving threat alongside Brock Bowers. While Hill might be past his peak in some eyes, his impact could be a game changer for a team desperate to add a spark in the AFC West. Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys have been linked to just about everyone this offseason, but the need is real. With cap space recently freed up after restructuring deals for Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, Dallas faces issues like a weakened offensive line, lack of running back depth, and a need for a reliable second receiving option. Hill's elite speed and playmaking ability would provide a huge boost to an offense looking to remain explosive and could help fill the gaps alongside Lamb. Tennessee Titans. The Titans, on the cusp of a potential rebuild with a new general manager in the mix, appear to be open to change. With their passing game lacking depth beyond Calvin Ridley, Hill could immediately elevate the offense. General manager Mike Borgonzi, who has previous experience with Hill from his Kansas City days, might see this as a perfect fit, especially if the Titans are willing to gamble on a high-impact move in a season that could see them struggle without additional weapons. Los Angeles Chargers. For the Chargers, who fell short in the playoffs last season and are criticized for free agency indecision, Hill represents a potential infusion of speed and veteran prowess alongside Justin Herbert. Adding Hill could help address their need for a top-tier wide receiver to complement Mike Williams, providing both a counterbalance to their physical style and extra firepower in the passing game. Arizona Cardinals. Finally, the Cardinals, long mired in mediocrity in the NFC West, might see Hill as the catalyst needed to spark a turnaround. With Marvin Harrison Jr. showing promise and the offense needing more excitement, Hill's presence could provide that extra edge to help the Cardinals climb out of the cellar and re-enter playoff contention. While the Dolphins' future with Hill remains uncertain, these landing spots, especially the Raiders, Cowboys, and Titans, are generating significant interest as teams evaluate how his unique skill set could transform their offenses in 2025. Big news coming out of Pittsburgh this morning. The Steelers might be one step closer to signing Aaron Rodgers. According to NFL insider Mike Garafolo, Rodgers was spotted having a throwing session with the team's newest top wide receiver, DK Metcalf, over the weekend. Garafolo shared on Good Morning Football that this workout is another step in the process as Rodgers evaluates the Steelers' interest. This revelation comes on the heels of head coach Mike Tomlin's comments last night when he emphasized that the team had no real plan B if Rodgers were to retire and that Mason Rudolph would be their starter in that scenario. Tomlin's vague statements, though, have left fans wondering if he's been holding back, especially now that details of the throwing session are emerging. Rodgers, who is navigating free agency for the first time in his 20-year career, has been taking his time to consider his options. While he's met with several teams, the Steelers have steadily emerged as one of the top potential landing spots. This workout with DK Metcalf suggests that the connection between Rodgers and Pittsburgh is deepening, perhaps nudging both sides closer to a deal. However, neither Rodgers nor the Steelers have confirmed any signing. Tomlin has maintained that the team is still evaluating all quarterback options, both in free agency and the upcoming draft. With both Justin Fields and Russell Wilson having moved on from Pittsburgh, the Steelers currently rely on Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson as their only QBs under contract. So what does this mean for Rodgers? While nothing is set in stone, this throwing session could very well be the spark that leads to an official announcement, possibly at an upcoming event like Pat McAfee's Big Night AHT in Pittsburgh. For now, the Steelers and Rodgers continue their cautious dance, but if this workout is any indication, Steelers fans might be in for some exciting news sooner rather than later. Stay tuned.